I have always said that stupid people are the most dangerous people on this entire planet. I don't trust dumb people. I avoid stupid people like a ticking time bomb with no timer because you're not sure when they're going to go off. You can guarantee they're going to go off, you just don't know when. Let me be very clear about this. Stupid has nothing to do with diplomas or degrees or jobs. I have met morons with Ivy League paper plastered all over their walls in frames who couldn't navigate a moral choice if you drew it for them on a map. Stupid people walk around through life oblivious to the damage they cause. They're the ones who vote against their own interests.
Hello guys, welcome once again to AfriPost. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great time. Now, in 2024, during presidential campaigns in the United States, many people came out supporting President Donald Trump, and some of the unexpected areas where he received support included Latino Americans, Cuban Americans, and many others who had a large portion of people living in America as immigrants. Now, Trump came in and he started effecting his plan. He talked about his hard stance on immigration and he started deporting people. So currently, ICE is conducting raids on people, and the number of guys who are being deported to their countries is high. You see, this is happening, yet Trump is still welcoming some white Afrikaners in the name of refugees from South Africa. And now they are coming out and fuming, saying, why is it that we voted for you, yet you do not have mercy on us? Why is it that we voted for you and you cannot even have mercy on our children, on our kins who have been here? They have been working here and they deserve to be here. You know, ICE has been targeting people as long as you are not considered a US citizen, whether you are on a visa, they always target you and they want you gone. So here are a compilation of videos that I came across where they are complaining and they are fuming at President Trump and regretting why blacks cannot support them at this time. Let's watch this, then come back and share our thoughts.
I have always said that stupid people are the most dangerous people on this entire planet. I don't trust dumb people. I avoid stupid people like a ticking time bomb with no timer because you're not sure when they're going to go off. You can guarantee they're going to go off, you just don't know when. Let me be very clear about this. Stupid has nothing to do with diplomas or degrees or jobs. I have met morons with Ivy League paper plastered all over their walls in frames who couldn't navigate a moral choice if you drew it for them on a map. Stupid people walk around through life oblivious to the damage they cause. They're the ones who vote against their own interests. They think they're always right, and that's the problem. That right there is the real poison. Because when you're stupid and you do things like vote against your own self-interests, you become the puppet, pulled by fear, pulled by propaganda, by whatever authority pats you on the head and says, "You're doing a great job, vote for me." I would sooner sit next to a hateful, racist person than a stupid person. At least the racists know who they are. They're gonna spew venom for sure, but there's a twisted kind of honesty to them. You know where you stand with them. You know exactly where the landmines are. With stupid people who vote against their own interests, you never know. They'll smile at you, they'll call you their friend, and they'll gladly set the room on fire with you in it, thinking they're helping. Stupid people are chaos wrapped in flesh. They will never truly know the harm they cause until it's too late. And that right there is the real problem.
Latinos for Trump, specifically Miami Cubans for Trump. Bring your ass, you bitches, on my docket today. Y'all are the definition of political pygmies. You're so eager, like ready, willing, and fucking able to go from one dictator to the fucking next. Now, I know y'all not systematically accustomed to freedom, but trust me, it's a good thing. Now, when it comes to you white presenting Cubans, I can understand, whether it be you naturally look that way or, you got the work done. I can understand your delusion in terms of, having proximity to whiteness and thinking that you're going to get a seat at the table. And while you may get a seat, it is with the expressed understanding that the moment you act familiar, them envelopians gonna put you in your place quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry by letting you know that you're simply a guest. But again, you look the part, so I can understand. But it's you Celia Cruz looking motherfuckers that blow me. Have you niggas looked in a fucking mirror? Like, let's keep it a fucking Goya bean in this bitch. The closest you're getting to a seat at the table is looking at that motherfucker through the window while you cutting the grass. Like, it is what the fuck it is. But since y'all think y'all got it like that, let's try a little experiment. When ICE roll up to collect you niggas, Elian Gonzalez style, I want you to look them square in the face. And I want you to say these 5 words to them. I know black eye Cuban. And let me know how the fuck it goes. Send me a postcard with Fidel on the fucking front. And when they send you back home, I hope you can't take shit with you but your fucking MAGA merch. As a permanent reminder that the president you voted for is the same president that sent you fucking packing. For decades, we've been trying to give y'all a wake-up call. I bet now you niggas wish you would have picked up the phone.
As much as I hate to say, I told you so, to all of the Latinos who voted for Trump, especially those who have undocumented friends or family members, take a look at this story and let me know what you think.
Me siento totalmente traicionada y sé que a lo mejor no lo digan.
Angustiada, desesperada y decepcionada. Así dice estar esta madre cubana Lillian Pais luego de que su esposo fuera deportado por la administración del presidente Trump, a quien ella le dio su voto.
Creía que quizás con el mandato del presidente, las personas que eran delincuentes eran los que se iban a ir y los que tenían pues un récord sea limpio y demás, pues iban a tener una oportunidad. ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está pasando? ¿Dónde está mi esposo? Y pues bueno, y ella me dice que lo habían detenido.
Do you still stand behind and support this man? The same man that's deporting people with melanated skin? If you're a Latino and you voted for Trump, are you feeling deceived yet? Are you feeling lied to?
Did you see this video where this couple, originally from Argentina, who voted for Trump, are upset that their son, who's a green card holder, is currently being detained by ICE?
Un incidente que terminó siendo un misdemeanor. Cumplió con todos los requisitos, al pie de la letra, entonces se terminó el caso, se cerró, se dismissed, lo detuvieron en el aeropuerto de LA, lo mandaron a un county jail en North Carolina por 3 días y luego lo movieron aquí a donde estamos ahora.
Él dijo que iba a ir por todos los delincuentes que entraron ilegal.
Y lo dijo muy claro.
Lo dijo bien claro.
Pero pasamos de tener una puerta abierta completamente a cerrarla con 10 rojos.
Es un engaño masivo lo que hizo. Es un mentiroso. Está mucha gente enojada. Y no solo inmigrantes. Gente que vive aquí, que tiene generaciones y generaciones de estar en este país.
And the family said that it's very possible that it could end with Agustin being deported.
So here's a little more background on their son, Augustine. He was convicted in 2020 of infliction of injury and he was sentenced to 3 years probation. Now, that case was closed in 2023. Well, in February, Augustine was coming back from a trip abroad through Los Angeles International Airport where he was stopped by DHS. There, they confiscated his green card and Argentine passport and told him to report to Border Patrol in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is where he lives. He did report to the office, apparently on his own. There's no word of whether or not there was a lawyer with him. He was detained, and within 2 days, he was transferred to Stewart. This is a Stewart detention center, which can roughly hold about 1,700 people. And according to Augustine, when he talked to his parents, it is overcrowded in there. People are sleeping on the floor, and they're not getting the basic necessities. Now, what is happening to their son and to everyone under this administration is terrible. But this is frustrating because Latinos for Trump really thought they were going to be safe from his mass deportations. Now that Trump has come after your family, now you realize that he was a liar. Trump has always been a liar. We knew he was going to go after immigrants, specifically Latinos, regardless if they're criminals or not. I do wish more Latinos will wake up to the fact that Trump is a liar, but unfortunately, it seems like with these Trump supporters, they do not believe anything until it personally affects them. So if this happens to come across your FYP page and you happen to be a Trump supporter, just know that something like this is in your future. You are not safe from him. He does not care about anybody but himself. And remember, to keep up with stories like these, sign up for my newsletter, check out my podcast or one of my other social media channels, link in bio.
They didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but he said that just keep my hands up, not moving. And then after that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And I told him I was an American citizen. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? Because he asked the other guy, do you believe him?
Machado said he was uncuffed and immediately released after showing his driver's license. The 2 men with him were taken into custody. He does not know why. The incident has caused him to reflect.
Definitely, because like I say, I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, like be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that, they will assume we are illegals.
So, do you think that's what they're doing now?
That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like.
Immigration lawyers suggest that residents and citizens carry ID with them at all times.
Today, nearly 60 white South Africans were admitted into the United States. It's part of President Donald Trump's resettlement program for white Afrikaners, largely descendants of Dutch and French colonial settlers in South Africa. Afrikaners also led the racist apartheid government there until it ended in 1994. Applications from these white families were fast-tracked by the administration, even as it suspended the U.S. refugee resettlement program, leaving thousands of approved refugees worldwide stranded.
Where are my Latinos for Trump? Trump chartered a plane to fly in the bottom tier white South Afrikaners. No asylum claims, no danger, and somehow they're getting instant refugee status. How many years did you have to wait again, Latinos? According to the official Americaners website, upon arrival, your tax dollars will gift them $1,275, TANF, food stamps, housing, 12 or more months of free subsidized health care, diapers, clothes, phones, basically a starter kit for the American dream that you will never see. All while undocumented immigrants in the U.S. pay about $100 billion a year in federal and local taxes and get almost nothing for it, except maybe violent deportations of even U.S.-born Latino babies with cancer. Y'all are getting snatched from work, and when you show up for your appointments, doing it the right way. Don't be fooled, Latinos. Just like the highly publicized ICE raids, this white supremacist import and reward program is a giant, deliberate, racist middle finger to you. Your self-hate was so strong that you voted for a criminal who told you in so many different ways that he thought you were trash, and he told you that he was going to deport you, and you still voted for him. And the first thing he did with the power that you were dumb enough to give him was deport you on day one. Right now's the time for Latinos and Hispanics, especially Latinos for Trump, who voted for this. Now's the time to let go of your ankles and stand up for yourselves. Some of y'all have all of the audacity and no shame in getting on these social media platforms and gaslighting and attacking the Black community for not standing up for you. Now's the time to stand up for yourself.
To all the Latinos for Trump, specifically the Mexicans, the Mexican Americans, on this Mother's Day weekend, if you have an undocumented mom, I want you to look her straight in the eyes and tell her, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you for crossing the border and risking your life just so I could be born here, grow up, and be a freaking sellout and vote against you. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And sorry for voting for a guy that wants you out of this country just because I wanted more money, just because of the economy. Happy Mother's Day, Mom, and let's hope you don't get deported.
So I'm coming for Latinos for Trump every day, every time. When I can, I'm doing it. Because the Republican budget plan just came out, and where's the no tax on tips? Not there. Where's the no tax on overtime? Not there. No tax on income? Not there either. You know what is there? Tax cut for the rich. Lowest there's ever been. But you bozos who kept screaming that he was going to do so much for the economy, that he was a businessman. He's a scammer. And we tried to tell you that he was not for you. Okay? So that just goes to show you, and I hope you're going to learn so many lessons. And they're going to be difficult ones. And we're not going to hold your hand while you learn them. All right? Te calmas o te calmo? Like at 100. So you guys enjoy this. Have fun with that.
I think enough time has passed for us to talk about this. While yes, a lot of Latinos are very racist and misogynistic and a lot of things like that, that's not a majority of the reason why they didn't vote for Kamala. So let's start with Cubans. Cubans are able to become, I don't know if it's citizens or at least like get their green card the second they step on U.S. land. Like, okay, now let's talk about Mexicans and Mexican Americans. So Mexicans have been here since before the colonizers got here and made Mexicans. So we have to kind of look at U.S. history. And when you look back, the U.S. has really wanted to take control of what kind of people are in the U.S., like regarding their skin color, starting with the genocide of the indigenous people here. The colonizers saw land they liked and they saw people living here they liked, so they got rid of them. They willingly participated in the transatlantic slave trade and created a hierarchy where black people, black Americans, slaves at the time, were at the bottom, lower than animals. These were things that the U.S. was able to control. But Mexicans were a different breed. Mexicans have been crossing the border since before Texas was part of the U.S. And no matter how many times the U.S. has tried to genocide us, has tried to kick us out, has tried to scare us, we keep coming back. So they've made it very difficult, very difficult to become citizens and have rights. Now let's talk about the Venezuelans. In 2023, the Biden administration offered 500,000 Venezuelans full citizenship. Well, not full citizenship. They got something called TPS, or temporary protective status. Venezuelans and Cubans look at Mexicans like, why can't you just come the legal way? While Mexicans are like, why are these people getting full benefits when we've been here for so long and can't even get green cards without having to work our asses off or come in illegally? Something that Latinos fail to understand, both in Latin America and in the United States, is that they don't see us as individuals. We're not American here. We're all Mexican. They all think we're Mexican. I mean, I am Mexican, but you know what I mean. Except Cubans. Cubans were able to go to white spaces during Jim Crow time because they passed as white, because they were white. I feel like each group, each nationality thought that voting for Trump would make them, I don't know, get what they deserve. And they don't even realize that the reason that they're all leaving their home country is because of U.S. intervention.
I'm so sick of people talking about Democrats need to stand up and need to fight more. I'm so sick of it all. First of all, stop talking all that crap. Okay, that's some fraggle-naggle bull crap that you guys are conjuring up because you don't like what is going on right now. Huh? Even though many of you voted for him, but now since it's on your side of the street, now all of a sudden you seem to have a problem with it. Now you looking for people who have the minority because you voted the majority in there. We know power and money has a whole lot of influence inside this extremely racist and divided land. Let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. Because I'm sick of these so-called accusations and still talking about Biden administration, still talking about Obama. Obama's going out there living his best life. He did the best that he could in this wretched place. And before you get to talking to me, talking about, well, if you don't like it here, go somewhere else. I was born here. I'm going to stay here. You understand? The question that you guys should be asking are not to the Democrats, and they need to be standing up more. First of all, you need to have yourself out there protesting, huh? Yeah, you need to be protesting right in front of that building. That's what you need to be doing, but you're not going to do it because you're a keyboard warrior, huh? You're looking for black people to still get out there and put their bodies on the front line to be unalived, and for this fool to sit up there and call martial law so he can stay in office, huh? The questions that you are asking and the anger and the venom that you are spitting on Democrats, you need to be spitting at the people that are actually causing you harm. The Democrats are sitting up there doing the best they can with a minority, huh? Yeah, but you want to keep belly aching, but you're not bringing nothing to these people, these Republicans, this MAGA that's sitting in this office. So, and it's funny. It's funny that it seems to be the same type of people that's talking about the Democrats ain't doing nothing and they need to be doing this, and why didn't they vet this person? Because Pam Bondi is a horrible person. Laura Loomer, all these people. Now we know if you weren't corrupt, you wouldn't have been able to be part of his board. You understand? You wouldn't be able to be part of his cabinet. There are no righteous people that are in his cabinet because none of this is logical. It is all evil, and there are evil people there doing the bidding. Violence, destruction, white supremacy, unaliving, raping people. All these things are the same things that are happening. This fool sat up there and has released J6, all 1,500 of them, huh? So he can further create a militia for himself. Now, y'all know doggone well all these people that were sent to CCOT and the way that they are actually being snatched off the street and kidnapped, because without due process, you are being kidnapped. But all these people that are being kidnapped and sent to places that they don't belong, talking about they're violent, huh? Let's talk about the violence. Is that not how this land was acquired? Through violence? From the same people, huh? That are sitting in that office right now. Oh, yes, the same people. All of these mass shootings and all of this bombings and all this stuff that's happening to innocent people has been at the hands of United States citizens. White United States citizens. Huh? Yes. No matter what anybody does, and that's on the Democratic side or an independent side, is never going to be good enough for you. I hear nothing about people talking about the work that Bernie Sanders is doing. Huh? If any of you had seen the Senate hearing yesterday with Kristi Noem, you know, the one that goes out there and just unalives dogs. If she unalives innocent dogs, that don't mean no harm to nobody. She has no problem sending you to where you want to go because she's racist too. Huh? Yeah, she don't like nobody of color. I don't care who you are. Pam Bondi, the whole lot of them. Now, you got planes dropping up out the sky because Elon Musk said, I want this person at the top of the FAA removed. Huh? And Donald Trump turned around and did it. This place was bought and sold. So now the planes are falling out the sky. Huh? Yeah, have you seen how many? No. Because they're not putting them all on air. But if you take the time to read a newspaper, you will see a lot. But that's not what many people want. They want to keep the rhetoric and the drama going because I don't know. It makes them feel better about their own little decrepit lives. I really don't know. So they want everybody to be as miserable as they are. Don't get to talking to no Democrats or no independents or nobody else about your plight. You need to go to that is misplaced anger, baby. You need to go to the correct entities. And that's sitting on top of that hill. But that's not what you're doing. No, because y'all want to get dressed up in daddy shorts and slip slides, shoes and the bouncy house and the dogs and the cats and the birds and the children and check and bring them on as if you really saying something. You're not saying a thing except for we having a day out in the sunshine. So all of this foolishness and all of this rhetoric, you know what damn land this is. And you know that the policies and forth that have been set forth were for the benefit and are for the benefit of the rich white people. Period. Case closed. You know this place was built on racism, violence, and destruction. So why are you surprised when it continues? You sat up there and allowed this to happen. 92% said no. No. Look what's coming. Look what's coming. Warning, warning. But no, y'all didn't want to listen to that. So now here it is. And now you want to bitch, cry, and moan? Oh, no, y'all can miss me with all that. No, no, no. Let the chips fall where they may. And meanwhile, we're going to keep line dancing and stuff and preparing ourselves for the worst times. Because, baby, we have been at the bottom, you know, because once enslaved, always enslaved according to them. You understand? But within that, we have learned to survive in some of the harshest conditions. We came from harsh conditions, and we are still in harsh conditions. We have never left, huh? So for the 92, y'all go ahead and keep on line dancing. For the rest of y'all that's sitting over there bitch moaning and crying and whatnot, I don't want to hear about it. Go tell somebody that really does care about what you saying, huh? Because you should have thought about this when you were voting, but since you did not, you're going to have to go ahead and lay on this bed of nails because you created it for yourself. Thank yourself. Yeah. And in the meantime, power to the people. Power to the people, baby. Come on. Where them fans at? Yeah, okay. That's what we doing.
Have y'all seen the video of that Cuban Trump supporter, man, complaining about Trump after there was a video that went viral of him celebrating Trump's victory a few months ago because Trump signed an executive order that's pretty much demanding that truck drivers know and speak and can read English in order for them to be a truck driver. And guess what this guy does for a living, man? Yeah, he drives a truck, man. He hasn't just driven a truck. He's driving a truck for 20 freaking years, man. For 20 years, and now he's scared that he might lose his license because he doesn't speak a lick of English. And at that point, I mean, yo, you've been here for 20 years, man. At that point, you kind of did it to yourself, bro. But whatever, man. It points to the fact that there was a lot of Latinos, man, that was supporting Trump, that I was looking at them like, I don't know, I think you might want to be quiet at this, at least publicly, you know, because a lot of Latinos out there were doing certain things that, you know, when the Democrats are in control, they just look the other way. They don't really care, you know. But when the Republicans get up in there, they start shaking things down, you feel me? And now this dude is over here scared because he's like, damn, how am I gonna feed my family, bro? This is all I do. And yeah, I know that the Latinos that hate Trump are having a field day with this video, man. It's going around the internet. Everybody's telling me, you see, we told you he don't care about no Latinos. But nah, bro, come on, let's start learning English, bro. You've been here 20 years, bro. That's one thing that Latinos do that blows my mind, bro. I know people been here 40, 50 years, bro. Don't speak a lick, can't even beg in English, bro. But yeah, that was a little funny.
So one of my beautiful Trinidadian friends named Roxy asked me to speak about the subject matter. Now, she sent me the message 3 days ago, but because there has been so many fires, I haven't been able to give this information my all, but it got my attention now. So I need you to like, share, and please go to my link tree to see all the social media that I'm currently on. We know TikTok is not here to stay. Now, some of the Caribbean leaders are surprised to hear that their country might be affected by the new U.S. travel ban. They say they haven't been officially told by the Trump administration, but according to this ban, it will completely block people from Cuba and Venezuela, which we already know, right? They were on that list. Not only from entering the U.S., but Haiti and several other Caribbean nations would also face restriction. This is all Steve Miller's brainchild. And of course, this is very worrying for the Caribbean leaders and families who have loved ones in the U.S. Even those with valid visas might not be allowed to travel. Now, why do you think that they actually went after these Caribbean islands? Because these islands use Cuban doctors, nurses, and other medical personnel. Recently, U.S. officials, including Little Marco, said that they will cancel visas for those involved in Cuban medical missions, which send doctors and nurses to help other countries. Now, under the proposed ban, Dominica, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia, they have 60 days to fix any issues before being fully banned. Haiti would face fewer restrictions than Cuba, but its citizens would need special permissions to travel to the U.S. This plan can have serious consequences for travel and relationships between the U.S. and the Caribbean. So to put it in layman's terms, the United States government is canceling visas for anyone working with or supporting Cuban medical facilities, citing allegations of forced labor, and claiming these missions enrich the Cuban regime. And I guess all these Caribbean countries get caught in the crossfire. Unbelievable. Thoughts?
That was a hell of a complaint. These guys are fuming at President Trump, and I think they are seriously regretting their decisions. They had options to vote Kamala Harris. They said, no, we don't want Kamala Harris. We are voting Trump because he is so much against socialism. He is somebody who is going to make Cuban Americans prosper and have better economic outcomes. But then if you look at what's happening right now, the economy is still not doing well. So who is to blame for the outcomes? In 2025, a growing number of Cuban Americans have begun to express regrets over their support for President Donald Trump, particularly in a light of a wave of deportations targeting undocumented immigrants, including many from their own communities. During Trump's earlier campaigns and presidency, a significant portion of Cuban American population, especially in Florida, supported his tough stance on socialism and his promises of economic growth. However, many did not anticipate that his administration's strict immigration policies would so directly affect their undocumented friends, neighbors, and even family members. The current crackdown has led to a painful separation and a heightened sense of fear, prompting some to reflect critically on their political choices. This sense of regret is compounded by the realization that they may have overlooked how Trump's border immigration agenda targeted not just Central American migrants or individuals with criminal records, but also undocumented immigrants from all backgrounds, including Cubans. While previous U.S. policies like wet foot, dry foot once offered Cubans preferential treatment, those protections have long since been rescinded, and many Cuban Americans now find themselves vulnerable under the same policies they once viewed as targeting others. The perceived betrayal by the administration they supported has fueled feelings of guilt and disillusionment within the community. As these deportations increase, some Cuban Americans feel abandoned and unsupported, particularly by Black Americans, whom they believe are not standing with them in protests or advocacy. This perceived lack of solidarity has caused tension between the communities. Some Cuban Americans expected broader support in organizing resistance or drawing national attention to the immigration raids. However, Black activists and communities have often pointed out that many Cuban Americans historically voted for candidates who opposed racial justice initiatives and did not show the same level of support when Black Americans were protesting police brutality and systemic racism. This dynamic reveals deeper fracture in the fight for justice and equality in the United States. The expectation of immediate allyship without acknowledging past political decisions and lack of reciprocity creates resentment. Black Americans who have long been at the forefront of social justice movements may feel that solidarity must be mutual and that true coalition building requires acknowledgement of shared struggles, not just when one's own community is affected. As a result, some have remained distant, focusing their energies on battles that have historically lacked support from the broader Latino community, including Cuban Americans. This moment has become a powerful lesson in coalition building and the need for genuine cross-cultural solidarity. For meaningful change to occur, Cuban Americans may need to confront the nuances of political alignments and engage more deeply with the struggles of other marginalized communities. At the same time, this situation underscores how immigrant and minority communities must find common ground to resist policies that harm them all. Unity built on mutual understanding and sustained empathy is crucial to resisting systems that exploit divisions for political gain. So that is what is going on. And while many Cuban Americans might come out to say that currently they are targeted and nobody is coming at their help, they must know that in the past they supported regimes that did not really align their policies to support minority communities. Tell me in the comment section what you think. And if you're watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also share our video and join our membership where we have specific and exclusive content tailored just for you. Thank you, and let's meet in the next one. Goodbye.